Hi everybody, Wes Olszewski here. I saw a guy at Oshkosh that had this gizmo, and it's a neato thing. It's for keeping your camera steady and level. And I asked him, does that work? And he said, it works like crazy, it's great. So I invested in one. Let's see what happens when we turn it on. Hey, it's looking right at you. Whoa, Nelly. So there are degrees that it won't go to, and there are degrees that it will go to. You just have to be careful and make sure you're within the right degrees. It has a nifty little tripod on the bottom that collapses, so you can hold it like this. So this is the whole hem, and it's called I gotta look at the box here, the MT2. This is the MT2. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to shoot some video with it here outside my house and evaluate how well it works. It's got 3 different modes for video, and it's got a nifty little thing here where I can make it pan down, or I can make it pan up, and I can make it pan from side to side. You can also make it lock where you want it to lock, so it's a pretty neat little device. And it works really good on my little tiny camcorder here. You see, this is a duplicate to the one that I normally use. So I'm going to go out and give it a run, and maybe I'll attach some of that video to here. We got some vessels that are anchored right out here in Chesapeake Bay, and we'll give it a little test before I take it up on the Great Lakes. Okay, here's my first shot. If you look, these vessels are more than 5 miles away, and I'm hand holding this, and the wind is blowing like crazy. This camera has a unique zoom on it. It's a tiny little camera, but man does it zoom well. If you look closely, you can actually see the anchor chains on some of these vessels. This is the equivalent here of about a Great Lakes 1,000-footer. She's actually 996 feet long. The focus thing is the camera's fault. And a lot of this bumping is me just moving it around, but I'll tell you what. This is what it looks like on wide. And if you tried this handheld without this device, it would be all over the place. Now, the one problem I had is looking through my viewfinder and trying to place the horizon. Not easy. So here we go again, and this time I'm going to zoom it to the max as best I can and make sure I've got the vessels in sight. The sun is so bright on my viewfinder that it's really hard to see. There's a little Canada Steamship Line self-unloader there. Yes, we have them on Chesapeake Bay. And you can see that the only problem I have is keeping my horizon, but that's me. That's not the camera doing that. I got to get used to using this a little bit more. But once I get it back on the horizon and pan around, that's the Thomas Point Lighthouse right there. She's about 4 3/4 miles away. That vessel right there is, I think, 9 miles away. This one right here is definitely 9.5 miles away. And the Chesapeake Bay Bridge here is over 11 miles away. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the zoom is. Here's on max zoom for my camera, but look how steady that is. Okay, I'm hand holding this and it's doing that. So if I put it on the tripod, it's going to be even more solid. I don't want to tripod it on this rail here. I don't want to drop it into the bay. All right, let's try some walking here. And this is in the PF mode, and you can see the camera steadies real well, but it tends to kind of want to wander on its own. It's almost like it's looking on its own. But it walks nice and smooth here. We're going to stop here now. We're going to go into the POV mode and pan around a little bit while I reset the mode. Now we're in POV, and let's see how it goes. Set it up and take a little walk. So this is just as smooth, but it's steady. It's very steady. It's not trying to look other places. It's doing POV. So I'm going to go back into the PF mode here and walk it to the end. That's what this thing works. I can't wait to get it up on the Great Lakes. Of course, if you're watching this, I'm probably already up there right now. So I filmed this earlier and set it on a timer here so it would come onto YouTube later in my trip. So there we go. Let's walk off the deck and head for my house.